Survivor 46 is already halfway over, yet this episode was easily the most unhinged one yet. It just left me with so many questions, and I'm actually more confused about things now than I was when the episode first started. There is obviously going to be a lot to talk about today, including that crazy ass tribal council. But before we dive into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button below just so you can stay tuned as we continue to recap this wild season. Now, let's begin. So this episode kicks off with both groups coming back to camp after the last tribal council, and the tension is immediately a little hot in the air as we see Venus is kinda sorta bragging about her master plan to blindside Soda, which we know isn't really the truth. You see, Tevin was the real mastermind behind this plan, but he's just letting Venus talk her shit anyway.
I'm so sorry. Venus has taken the accolades, trying to commandeer the fact that Soda's going home was her doing.
Now, Venus is a little delulu, I'm not gonna lie. It's just that she has like no pull out there, so she's not nearly as in control as she thinks she is. But as we'll soon find out, she is far from the only delusional one out on that island. One thing that is important to note is that Liz is over both of these two right now and she wants them both gone. She's been annoyed with Venus for a while now, and now she's really starting to see through Tevin's sneaky gameplay, which she's not really wrong for. Liz is also ready to make a big move for herself in the game, which I don't really blame her for because this is like the first real strategy talk we've seen from Liz all season. So she is starting to get out there and get active now, but still, we've barely seen her on the show. She's barely had any confessionals, so right now I still think her win equity is pretty non-existent. Later on in the day, Q is gonna propose this cute little game of hide and seek, but this game is not just for funsies. There's actually some ulterior motives here. You see, in Q's mind, hide and seek is actually an allegory for Survivor because
if I can't find you in hide and seek, I can't find you in this game.
So at first, I wasn't really taking this game too seriously, right? I just thought Q was being his usual dramatic self. But this man is absolutely serious. Like literally, since Hunter and Ben were both good at hide and seek, now they have to go. What?
Ben was not found at all in hide and seek. Ben has to go.
All season long, I've been talking about how much I adore Q and how he is my favorite casting this season so far, and this episode is no exception. He absolutely gives in all of his confessionals, and it's all genuine. Like, this man is not putting up a front. He really is that unhinged. And this whole hide and seek saga was probably my favorite scene of this whole season so far. It was just the perfect blend of camp life mixed in with strategy.
Hunter made a mistake. If you will risk going that high in a tree for hide and seek, you would take a risk and take a shot at me.
Now, do I think picking targets purely based on hide and seek is a good idea? Hell no. But was this fun and messy to watch? Absolutely. The group then heads off to their next immunity challenge, and as we've seen in seasons before, in this episode, Jeff is going to give them the option to trade their immunity for some food. But Q and Liz are the only ones who are interested, so there's no deal there. Now, I believe this is the second time in the season where Q doesn't get his way. And when Q doesn't get his way, he starts to get just a little bit unhinged, which we're gonna see later on. The competition kicks off, and this is the endurance competition where they have to hold on to the pole, which I would absolutely hate. But of course, Hunter is able to easily ice everybody in this competition because duh, of course he does. Of course the challenge beast is able to win this. He was actually very dainty and effortless with it too.
Hunter wins individual immunity. You're safe tonight in Tribal Council. Guaranteed. Whoa,
Look,
Hunter! What is happening?
Hunter!
I was saving this one.
See, the showing off was cute and all, but it's stuff like this that makes me think that Hunter is not going to win this game. Like, he's just growing this target that's already been on his back, And the first time he does not win immunity, he should definitely be a target to a lot of people in the game. So now that we know who's immune, let's break down some of the drama happening back at camp because it is a lot to keep track of. First off, since Tim is now gone, Charlie is now the chosen one to join this Big Six alliance. And what I really like about Charlie is that he's really good at thinking in circles and looking at the gameplay from all different angles. For example, he knows that Tim used to be in this alliance and was voted out by his own allies, so he's already coming in knowing that this thing is very shoddy at best. Plus, he knows he's the last one to come in and join this alliance, which should always be a red flag because oftentimes the last one in is the first one out because they're the last option. And there's even more drama with this Big Six group when Tiffany decides to throw out Moriah's name. I'm not gonna lie here, I do think this was, as Q would say, a big mistake. Because not only is Moriah not coming for Tiff, she's also a potential number on her side just for right now. But still, I don't think it's the biggest deal. But Q now really wants to get out Tiffany here, which I think is an even bigger mistake. In fact, I'd say that Q coming after Tiff is probably like the mistake of all mistakes in this whole episode. This is where Q really started to lose me because now Tiffany is a huge target, yet literally the only people that want to get her out at all are her own allies. Literally everyone else, it seems, wants to vote out Tevin. I mean, he's already great socially, and that soda blindside last week proves that he has the strategic chops too. So now it's looking like the vote is really only between Tiffany and Tevin, and this is where my dumbass starts to get embarrassed because I was really riding for this Big Six alliance at first. The group all walks into Tribal, and at first everything's looking pretty normal, right? Everybody's answering their questions, nothing's out of the ordinary, until all of a sudden, Q does that thing again where he takes it upon himself to decide to quit the game.
The only person that's going home tonight is me. But I'm gonna ask everybody to vote for me. Then all of these 9 folks are going back to camp today.
Look, we've been here before with Q, okay? Sometimes when he doesn't get his way, when he's not winning, he'll just threaten to give up. It's just so hard to tell if he's being genuine here or if it's all just a ploy. My gut wants to tell me that it's a ploy just because we've built up this narrative that Q hates quitters ever since that whole Jelinsky thing. But on the other hand, hey, maybe Q really does want to quit here and the edit has just been setting him up to be a big hypocrite this whole time. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait till the next episode for him to explain what was fully up there, but for now, he is just leaving everybody annoyed and confused. The Tribal goes live, and of course, everything is a hot-ass mess. We see Tiffany find out in real time that Q snitched about her idol, which had to be shocking. Like, poor Tiff trusted Q the most out of everybody out there, but that man is just unhinged, okay? He's crazy. Like, I really can't picture how the hell his game could possibly improve from here. The votes are eventually read, and we see that Tevin is ultimately the one who was voted out. It was kind of shocking just because I saw him going really far in the game, and in the back of my head, I was thinking maybe there's a chance that Hunter might use that idol on him. But also throughout the season, I've also seen Tiffany going further in my eyes, and I still have her down as a possible winner pick. So there's that. I did think it was absolutely hilarious that nobody actually voted for Q despite his best efforts. And unfortunately, Hunter was on the outs of this vote too, so I don't think things are looking too good for him moving forward, especially with no Six Alliance and no Tevin. Of course, I want to know, what did you all think of this wild ass episode, and who do you see possibly winning the game? Let me know in the comments below. After all that chaos, I'm still pretty high on Kenzie and Tiffany. Of course, I'll be back next week to continue to cover this completely unhinged season with y'all. But until then, bye.